Okay, twice in one day. Sorry about the piss poor lighting. As you can probably gather, it's a wee bit grey out there right now. So I'm just working with the lighting I got. But yes, episodes I would say 12, 13, and 14 of Cover to Gov. Let's do this. Alright, so episode 12 follows up immediately. Let's see very exactly which order it went in. So episode 12 follows up the romance con artist subplot since, well, turns out the Gradu I didn't actually escape. It was still there when Hanto detransformed, and buggery. Forgot his name already. Shoma, but managed to hold him up just enough to get himself and Hanto out of there, and decides to patch Hanto up himself. Even though he's never actually done it before, which he does admit while doing it, and of course he also reveals his identity to Hanto, and I like the scene where this is like immediately after, of course, now they're like in the air about who they are, about their riders' identities, and Hanzo makes it abundantly clear that he will always hate the Granuts because of them killing his mom, which Shoma can at least sympathize with, since he lost his mom to the Granuts as well, different Granuts altogether, but still Granuts. But the reason why because Hanto basically asks why he didn't just kill the Granut where he stood, and Shoma makes it clear, well, I could have just let you die. I already lost someone else close to me, and it would be wrong if I did that to you, as like if you were just another name on that list. Especially if you want to keep fighting Granuts, you're better off doing it alive. Which I get. I'm glad that they're showing this with Hanto and Shoma. They're not showing them to be like showing them being like antagonistic towards each other. They're actually showing them like actually talking things out, and get this, not being assholes about it. Like I can think of like several writer shows that did this exact same scenario, and the writers are just constant assholes about it because they just refuse to just explain anything. Like Agito, great example. Ryuki, great example. Fives, major example. The latter half of Hibiki, well, don't know about the latter half of Hibiki, that was more focused on the producer's pet. Kabuto technically suffers from this as well. I swear Kiva suffers from this at one point. I don't know, I can't even really remember much of Kiva. Um, oh god, what's another one? That's Saber. Saber suffered from this, like with its mid-series arc, with how the sort of logos just automatically doesn't trust Toma anymore because of this, because of the shit that Reiko was doing. Reiko, whichever one. The bitchy Polish sword lady, like that's what I know her as. And so many series do this thing where they just have the antagonists that are just hostile towards each other over things that are honestly petty and kind of goes against their own morals. I hate when characters do this purely for the drama to keep going. Whereas something like this, Gavv nips that in the bud straight away. Straight away. They acknowledge that they both suffer the same problems. They have different ideas of how to deal with the Granuts, but they're still going to work together anyways. Because there's a bigger threat right now than their own personal shit. Yes, Shoma is still keeping the secret that he's a Granut, but for good reason. Hanzo hates the Granuts and wants to destroy all of them because of what happened to his mum. Like, it's that simple. It's no case of, oh, I have to keep this a secret to protect your feelings. No, he's legitimately scared. He's scared of what Hanzo will do once he finds out that Shoma's a human Granut hybrid. Christ away, this isn't rocket science, and it's coming from Joko Kamara of all people. Anyways, during this, when Shoma sees the photo of Hanzo and his mom, he suddenly gets like a splitting headache, and I'm not gonna say that the thing. I'm not. I was originally about to say that my theory was Shoma and Hanzo have the same mom. Like Hanzo's mom was kidnapped from the human world and brought to whatever the name of the world is the Granuts come from, and would eventually give birth to Shoma. But we otherwise have no other evidence of this, and if that was the case, why didn't Shoma's mom ever mention anything about this? I mean, Dente does say something along the lines of his memories possibly being distorted or something like that, but nothing legitimately concrete. Either way, Hanzo and Shoma eventually do find the find the ground again. So in a sense, he's doing this doing the catfishing stuff, and basically and are able to find him and beat him. And I do like this little bit in the fight scene. Shoma has the Zaku chips form, the one of the sword crisps. They keep on shattering whenever they hit the monster's body, but then Hanto in his rider form makes like a giant pool of like melted chocolate, and and Shoma dips the sword into them, and they become solid. Like it helps him like actually slash at the monster, and I love that. I think that's a legitimately funny idea. That was a good visual and a good way to show them working together. And of course, what is it? Hunter was able to get footage of the monster being destroyed and show it to everything. Hey, this guy's not going to bother you anymore. You're cool. So I like that, and even do it when he's like filming, like, oh, filming this, nice shot, or something like that. Again, this show has good moments of comedy. I like that. So that brings us to episodes 13 and 14. These are the ones that I like to call the shit goes wrong for Sheeta and Jeeb arc, because by this point both of them have been fired and basically tossed out on the streets, and Lungo's like, nah, let them fend for themselves. They don't matter. Because again, Lungo is a dick. And at this point, Jeeb and Sheeta are Jeeb and Sheeta are blaming Shoma for this, for everything that's gone wrong, because apparently in that same flashback that I mentioned, like in the last time, but when apparently all the Stomach family actually attended Sheeta and Jeeb's birthday party, and they stomped on Shoma's flowers when he offered them to them. Yeah, it turns out they literally only did it for the sake of family obligation. Like, as soon as they said happy birthday, they're like, okay, we're done, back to business, bye. Like, they did not give any two shits about their younger siblings, which, go to show kind of love this family supposedly has. And it turns out that part of it is also because they seem to be also jealous of Shoma as well, because, well, one, the three siblings abandoned them. Then there's a human mother who always doted on Shoma, and their dad, whose name totally escapes me. He never paid them any attention. He's like, look, I got an important business call. Fuck off. Yeah, he told me stuff about Shoma's upgrade. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. So definitely not a very loving family. And I'm glad they're showing this to at least give Sheeta and Jeeb some form of to like show more nuance other than our business failed, it's your fault, and we're gonna kill you now. So give it a little bit more nuance here. But it's doing this is that Shoma has actually Shoma has tried this new cake from that Shachika made called a bûche de Noël, I believe it's called. It's basically like a Christmas Yule log, pretty much. And Shoma, of course, likes it since it's the first time he's ever had a cake, and of course, it resulted in the creation of the Christmas exclusive Bouchelle Cachizo, which looks alright as a form. I like the giant axe he has. The axe he uses in that form is cool, but something about the giant antlers and the shoulder armor just didn't look right to me. Although again, they're supposed to look like Bush Noel logs, but it just never looked right. And it's because of this that he decides to basically try and make his own cake. They're basically just like what looks like just a normal like a strawberry shortcake, or kind of. I would have as much as I love eating cakes. I'm not expert at actually making them. Like, I can barely do a pizza in the oven. Even then it has to be store bought. Anyways, and in in episode 13 itself, as like it's a subplot. What was it? Hanto is looking to this musician that people keep on disappearing around, and of course the musician's the ground notes. And there's something that's weird but also kind of funny moment where they were like in like a fountain, and they do like a slow motion water fight or something while semi romantic music he's playing in the back. I'm like, why? And also, Toei, please stop putting your suits in fountains or bodies of water. You should know by now the kind of water damage your other suits are suffer from. Don't believe me? Look at the double Cyclone Joker suit. Like, that's part of the reason why that suit kept on getting heavily damaged. Not looking after it properly, and of course, water damage. Or heck, even the Kamen Rider Gil suit. That's like the most infamous victim of water damage from Toei. Nonetheless, the monster basically spells that they didn't always use to like squeeze humans down into those slats. They literally just kidnap them, used to kidnap them wholesale. But before Hanzo could ask anymore, the monster was able to escape. And during all this, Shoma has his fight with Sheeta and Jeeb, who apparently, from according to the wiki, are based on Hati and Skjold from the wolves from Norse mythology, who are always chasing after each other. One goes one way and brings up the moon, the other goes the other way and brings up the sun. I believe that's how that works in Norse mythology, or maybe that's just according to God of War Ragnarok. I don't know. I'll need to do further googling to that. I think it's literally only just because they're both gold and blue wolves. Uh, but during the first fight, like Showa gets his ass handed to him hard. Like he's knocked straight out of his transformation. Even as he wears like the strongest armor he can, he keeps on getting his ass handed to him. So good showing that Sheeta and Jeeb are legitimate physical threats. And as he's knocked over a cliff, of course, Sachika's worried because Shoma has just been nowhere to be seen all day, even though he's finished the cake. He's finished the cake, he's sitting in the fridge for both of them to eat it. And this brings us to episode 14, where Hanto does find Shoma, and of course brings it back to Sachika, and Cheetah and G decide on a new way to get Shoma out so they can finish him off. But before that, we actually get this really good scene of Shoma and Sachika trying the strawberry shortcake. That's apparently it's perfect. Apparently, so who knows? Maybe in the future, Shoma could be a cook. We'll have to wait and see. But what makes the scene work here is that Shoma is it's not so much the food itself. Yeah, I don't doubt that cake is delicious, but it's not so much the food, but also the fact that he was able to make it with Sachika. They brought him some form of some happiness and enjoyment, and that's the kind of feeling he wants to always feel, not just from the snacks, but from the people that he interacts with. And again, this is such a good. The writing for the show can be really bloody good, just from the small like inner monologue and interaction stuff between our characters. I'm really liking the character dynamics we have in this show so far. Uh, and eventually, Sheeta and G, make their attack, and they write in their native language, basically, Red Gavv, we know you see this, come and get us. Like meet us at this specific warehouse, which obviously no one else can read because it's their native language. But during all this, a few different Kachizo get taken by Nyalv, who has also been experimenting on a random Granut who, at one point in the previous episodes, tried to take a dark tree without paying for it. So they figured they had to use it as a test, as a lab monkey, basically. Shoma once again ends up fighting Jeep and Cheetah, and of course, through the fight, it's eventually able to unlock his new Kuchizo, Cake King. Food puns, and I'll say this: I love Cake King as a design. Like the royal motif, the white and the gold contrasting with each other. Not to mention the dots of red from the strawberries, and of course on the visor as well. And the thing, they don't overtly make them strawberries. They're just like the strawberry shaped, but they can like easy pass off as just royal jewels, and I really like that. And then there's also the weapon, which the name escapes me, but I know it's basically supposed to be like a combination between a sword and a piping bag, which okay, it does kind of make some strange sense as like a food weapon. And this also apparently allows him to, like, as he squeezes the piping bit of the sword, basically allows him to summon some royal clad minions, like more like the other minions that the rest of the stomach family have. And of course we see Shoma summoning these minions, and I like that he gave this as an exclusive power just for this form. But here's we get to the episode that I'm kind of mixed on now. Because he launches his final attack at Jeeb and Sheeta, of course, wishing that they could have gone along as a family, and even envisioned like an alternate time where they accepted his flowers, thanked him, and of course, sat down with him and had some cake. And he unfortunately has no choice but to destroy him because he knows they're never going to stop. And Sheeta pushes Jeeb out of the way, taking the blast for herself. And of course is atomized. leaving Jeep distraught and wailing in despair before he runs off. And later in the rain, we see him like slicing off part of his hair as he runs or just runs off somewhere. And of course, Shoma is shocked that he just committed patricide. Now, defeating the siblings, that was inevitable. Like the defeat of either Jeep or Sheeta, I accepted that. But the way it's presented in this bit, well, one, it does this stupid cliche thing I always hate when they do this, when someone pushes someone out of the way of a blast and then takes the blast themselves. When, from the way the scene is shot and presented, they could have just moved both of them out of the way with the momentum. Seriously, people, like, what is so hard about? Why is there always that cliche where they could just escape that kind of harm? And two, killing Sheeta off specifically. Yeah, I feel like that's. I feel like that's just women in a refrigerator as far as I'm concerned. Like, excuse me, just killing the female character off to make the male character feel sad and angry and stuff like that. I hate that trope. And again, Kamen Rider's guilty of that too. Again, I can point to literally any Toshiki New Way series in Tokusatsu, whether that's Sentai, Rider, what have you. Like, he's incredibly guilty of this. Toei in general is guilty of just killing off female characters for the sake of, for the sake of the progression of of a male character's story. And whenever this trope turns up in Rider, I just hate it. They need to stop doing that. Like, if one or the other was heavily wounded and their sibling swore revenge, like further revenge, fine. But specifically just killing off Sheeta instead of just heavily wounding Jeeb, yeah, no, I just no. Especially since the preview for the next episode makes it look like the show was like, well, we should at least give some grounders a chance because they're not all evil. Like, you can tell just before the way that Jeep and Sheeta acted in, like, before the confrontation, before the fight in this episode, that they're obviously doing this because of their own experiences instead of just solely the stuff with Shoma. So it's like that could help inform that part of the character arc. But no, just kill off the female lead to make them kill off the female counterparts of the male character can feel sad and angry. But at the end of the episode, we get like this one last big revelation that Suga and Nyelv know each other when Nyelv comes into his office with the Kachizo he was able to pick up. So yeah, it looks like Suga does have some connection to the Granuts, which I kind of suspected anyway, because I forgot to mention this before. When Shoba went to visit Dente a couple episodes ago, Dente theorized that no ordinary human could come up with the idea of like implanting something into Hanto to turn him into a rider. It has to be that's normally something a Granut would think of. But we'll have to wait and see in the coming episodes. I mean, no doubt it's like part of one of the other schemes to be the main villain. We'll see. But yeah, these 3 episodes are keeping the streak of good episodes. So far, Gavv is a good series. I am enjoying it. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to keep doing like a weekly thing, or maybe I'll just do like a few catch-up videos every once in a while where I do like 2 to 3 episodes at a time. But we'll have to wait and see. But otherwise, yeah, I'm glad I was at least able to do 2 videos in one day, which I haven't done that in a long time. See you later, guys.